back with another video, so let's get into it. Today I'm going to, I already made videos about this, so this video is more of a formality, and I think for more specific stuff you can find said video that corresponds to it, but I'm just going to talk about part of this process is doing well in school. You need to do well in school to get into medical school, my dear. If you don't do well, it is a lot harder to get into medical school. It's not impossible, but it is hard. Trust me, I know, because this is me. I am this. So in the last video, we talked about, exploring your interest in medicine and having strong extracurricular activities. However, strong extracurricular activities is not enough to get into medical school. You need a strong GPA. Like, strong. Like, it's been in the gym GPA. That's the kind of GPA you need. Like, it is fitness guru GPA. You need a very, very strong GPA to be competitive for medical school. I want to start off with some statistics that I got from AAMC's website, and I just want to say this so you guys have an idea of kind of the numbers you're looking at in terms of determining your competitiveness for school and what you should be aiming for to be competitive. The average MCAT score for someone who matriculated into medical school. Matriculating means you were accepted into medical school and you enrolled and you started medical school. The average MCAT for that was a 511. And the average science GPA was a 3.65. The average cumulative GPA was a 3.72, and the average non-science GPA was a 3.8. Having been someone who has struggled and who has seen GPAs below 3.0, a 3.8 is a very high number. That is high. That's very close to 4.0. Very, very close. I know because I have seen less than a 3.0 and I have seen above a 3.0. And that's a very high GPA. You basically have to get all A's, or at least mostly A's and B's to get into medical school. And those are the statistics for just general matriculants. I don't think it has nothing to do with any other confounding variables. I wish someone said those numbers to me my freshman year, and I think I would have understood a bit more how important it is to do well. Like, I think I've always known it's important to do well, because who doesn't want to do well in school? But it didn't hit me that, like, a C can hurt, God forbid I ever see a D, and sometimes you don't even pass classes, right? I've passed every single class I've taken, but so it's important to tell yourself ahead of time, I need to do really, really well. I need to get good grades. And let me tell you the average matriculant data for African Americans. And I want to say that because I am Black, I am Nigerian. So when I make my videos, they are for everyone, but like, I am coming from the perspective of a black applicant. I'm Black, so like, I also am looking at the statistics for the people that look like me that get into medical school. So the average MCAT score for your African American matriculant was a 505. The average science GPA was a 3.38. The average non-science GPA was a 3.67, and the average cumulative GPA was a 3.51. So as you can see, for African Americans, the numbers are a bit lower, but that's just because slavery. And, a lot of things that have, intentionally put African Americans and people of color in a place where they don't have the same access to opportunity to succeed as other people. Even the numbers for, African Americans, you still need to do well, you still need to get mostly A's and B's, and it's important to think about this stuff. The first thing I'm going to say, and I have more specific videos on this, but is you need to, the moment you decide you're going to start college, ideally, or the moment you've made the decision that you want to change your GPA around, you need to assess your current study habits, your current study skills, and your current learning habits as well. You need to assess where you currently are and say, okay, this is what I'm doing right now, and you need to be able to learn how to adapt and change. That's the reality of the situation. You have to recognize when you're not doing well, and you have to say, okay, clearly the way I am learning, the way I'm studying is not working. Doing something again will not make it, like, it's not working. So you have to be able to acknowledge that and recognize that and decide to make a change. And I think one thing I wish I did that I'm going to tell you guys is don't wait until your GPA is below a 3.0 to realize, oh snap, I need to fix something about my grades. Like, don't wait until you have like 5 C's then you say, oh my goodness, okay, I have to take a step back and really, you know, figure out what's wrong. Start early. So like if you pass general chemistry with a C, that should be a red flag to you right there, and you say, okay, let me stop in my tracks before I take another chemistry course. Let me evaluate what went wrong this quarter. Like, why did I get a C in this class? Why did I get a D? Why did I not pass this class? What were the study skills and what was I doing that led me to this? And if I want to take another science course, if I want to take another course, what am I going to do better? You need to catch yourself early on. For me, it didn't click to me, my GPA, until like the beginning of my junior year. And by then, like my science GPA was below a 3.0 for 2 years at that point. And I was like, well, that's 50% of my college education, you know, that I can't redo. So I only have 50% more, right? And it's a lot easier to remedy your GPA if you find that out maybe 1 year after college, or maybe mid-year your freshman year as opposed to beginning of your junior year. Also, ask for help. That's like, I feel like when I first started pre-med stuff, it felt this competitive nature and this kind of silence, and like no one really knows, like, you know, oh, like everyone seems to know what's going on. Everyone is just as stupid as you. Like, I mean, no one is stupid, but everyone is just as clueless, but no one wants to say that, right? No one wants to admit to that. So just ask for help. Don't be ashamed to ask for help. Go to office hours, talk to the professor, make study groups, do things and put yourself in a position where you can do well in school. So that's all I have to say about that. I hope this was helpful. Please be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe.